Alright, here we go again. Strap in because the transfer market is absolutely on fire. Rodrigo might be leaving Madrid. Victor Osimhen said yes to Al Hilal. Florian Wirtz, Premier League bound. And Manchester United? They've dropped a €60 million bomb for Victor Gyökeres. But before we dive into the madness, yep, it's that time again. The mandatory 5-second like begging segment. Smash that like button, 600 likes, and I'll finally be able to afford another jar of coffee just to stay awake editing all this transfer chaos. Alright? Let's dive in. Rodrigo to Arsenal, the dream move? Arsenal have made it clear, modesty is off the table. They want to go big. And who's at the top of their list? Rodrigo goes. Yes, that Rodrigo, from Real Madrid. This isn't some random tabloid clickbait. This is real, according to several top-tier insiders. And honestly, it makes sense. 2 years in a row, Arsenal have looked like champions in waiting, only to run out of gas when it mattered most. They've got Martinelli. They've got Saka. They've got Odegaard pulling the strings. But they're missing that killer edge in front of goal. Now imagine this trio: Martinelli, Rodrigo, Saka. That's not an attack. That's a nightmare for Premier League defenders. Rodrigo is just 24. Can play left, right, through the middle. Champions League experience. Trophy cabinet stacked. And most importantly, he's still hungry. Rodrigo's dilemma: Mbappe changes everything. But what about Rodrigo himself? He's a fan favorite at Madrid. He's loved. So why would he leave? 2 words: Kylian Mbappe. With Mbappe joining Vinicius and Bellingham, Real Madrid's front line is suddenly very crowded. And someone is about to become the odd man out. Rodrigo knows his worth. This is his peak. He doesn't want to be just another name in a superstar rotation. But here's the thing, Rodrigo isn't throwing tantrums. He's waiting, calmly. Sources say he wants a serious face-to-face with Xabi Alonso before deciding. Are you going to build around me or bench me? Arsenal are waiting in the wings. And if that conversation doesn't go well, London calling. The price tag worth the risk? Let's talk money. Arsenal reportedly started the bidding at €70 million. But Madrid? They won't even blink unless it's at least €100 million. And the wages? Rodrigo wants £300,000 a week. That's superstar level money. Now ask yourself, would you spend that kind of cash? Because if it works, Arsenal might finally lift that long-awaited Premier League trophy. But if it doesn't, that's a colossal gamble gone wrong. So is he worth it? Let me know in the comments. Ter Stegen versus Barcelona, captain in crisis. Alright, let's head to Barcelona. Because guess what? There's a full-blown goalkeeper soap opera playing out right now. Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, the club's rock for years, might be on his way out. It started when Hansi Flick didn't pick him for the Inter game. Ter Stegen? Furious. He refused to travel with the squad. Just stayed home. Trained alone. And now, he's doing interviews in Germany saying he's 100% fit, taking not-so-subtle shots at the coaching staff. Barca's response? Sign Joan Garcia. Young keeper. A clear sign. We're ready to move on. Is this how it ends for a club captain? Let me know, should Barca keep him or cut ties now? Victor Osimhen to Al Hilal? Almost done. Now let's talk Victor Osimhen. The man finally looks set to leave Napoli. And it's not Europe calling, it's Saudi Arabia. Al Hilal have offered him €35 million a year, plus bonuses. Let's be honest, who's saying no to that? And Osimhen? He's already said yes. Only problem? Napoli wants €75 million. Al Hilal are offering €70. Yes, a €5 million gap is holding this deal up. Absolute madness. But once they agree, Osimhen becomes one of the highest-paid footballers in the world. And if Al Hilal move quickly, they can register him for the Club World Cup. A chance to show he's more than just a rich man's toy. Grimaldo transfer war, Barca versus Madrid. Now here's one for the purists. Alejandro Grimaldo. Machine. Creator. And now the center of an El Clasico transfer war. Barcelona want him back. They're basically going, Hey, sorry we let you go. Wanna come home? But Real Madrid? They're ready to hijack the move. Grimaldo's fee? Just 18 million euros. In today's market, that's loose change. Only catch? He wants a 5-year contract and a personal fitness coach written into the deal. Welcome to modern football. So, Camp Nou return? Or switch sides and wear white? Leroy Sane, the Turkish tug-of-war. And finally, Leroy Sane. Jose Mourinho has landed at Fenerbahce, and he wants to make noise. First target? Sane. The offer? 15 million euros a year. Unheard of money in Turkey. But wait, Galatasaray just crashed the party. They've launched their own bid. Now we've got a transfer Istanbul derby before the season even starts. But looming behind it all? Saudi Arabia. They haven't moved yet. But if they do, you can bet they'll double the offer just for fun. Meanwhile, Arsenal are watching. They want Sane for the project, not the paycheck. But how do you compete with that kind of money? And Bayern? They've now tabled a new contract. More base pay, fewer bonuses. They want a decision before the Club World Cup. So what does Sane do? Chase legacy or chase the bag? So now it's your turn. Should Arsenal drop 100 million euros on Rodrigo? Should Ter Stegen stay or go? Is Osimhen right to take the Saudi deal? And where do you think Sane ends up? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading every single one. And don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one with more transfer drama, twists, and total madness.